All right, so in the previous presentation, we took a look at how to implement inheritance from a base class of users and then several derived classes of faculty and students. Let's take a look at now how to implement a one-to-many relationship, such as a faculty being related to many courses, or faculty teaching many sections and whatnot. Okay, so let's take a look at faculty and courses. So the way we could do this is that the classical way of doing it in a relational database is to have the children on the weak side, right, on the many side, have foreign keys back to the strong side, right, on the to the faculty. So for instance, we would implement it by having a the course side. For instance, if a faculty is authoring many courses, the course have a reference back to the faculty. But that's not actually how you would do it in a Java data model. Typically, in the Java data model, instead the relationship would be from the parent to the children, where the faculty would have a list of courses. So let's implement this. Let's go into a data model and let's implement course here. So this would be course. Then here we let's have a couple fields here. In particular, let's have an integer and the title of the course. Title. We'll make this an entity, and we'll make this a primary key. And we'll make this also a generated value strategy that is equal to the identity. And because this is going to participate in a one-to-many relationship, this will also have a reference back to the faculty who authored these, right? Faculty, and this will be the author of the of this course. Since we are on the weak side of the relationship, we will use the many to one mapping. And so this is it, right? This is what generates that relationship. We also will need the setters and getters for this. So we'll generate for the source the setters and getters. And on the, let's declare this up here instead. There we go. But we need to go implement what typically would happen. Instead of having the reference from the children to the parent, typically the way we would implement it actually in Java is to just have a collection here on the strong side, right? So we have a course. These are the courses authored. So authored, what do I call it here? Authored courses. So authored courses. Right, so let's do a Java util, and there we go. Okay. So this is what we would typically just. This is as far as we would go, and this would just plain old Java, right? We would not actually have this reference back to the author, right? But because we know we're going to be deploying this and storing this in a relational database, we are kind of forced to have this additional field in there that's going to be used for the primary key that's going to reference back to the parent. All right, so since we are on the strong side of the relationship, we're going to tag this as a one-to-many, and we need to configure what is the primary key that is referencing us to us, right? We could say, well, I'm being referenced to by using through a foreign key that is represented by the that's referencing to us through the author field. Correct? Let's see. Is that what we're using? Course. Yes, author. So the author field is referencing us. All right, excellent. So there we go. we tied both together. We still need the setter and getter for this. So let's get the setter and getter for the faculty. And we'll display at the bottom at the end. So okay. All right, excellent. So we can just now restart the server and see what the relationships look like if we restart. Right, it should at least create a course table, right, with perhaps a foreign key that references the course. I mean the author. So let's see. Look what happened here. Let's see. It created a table course. There we go. And it added a constraint, a foreign key. See that? That foreign key called author ID that references the user. Notice that there's no faculty table. Right? So, but it knows that there's an inheritance and that it's collapsing all the fields up to the user. Right? So it's referencing really the user, not the faculty. Right? It knows about all these decisions. So if we go and refresh here, we'll notice that we have a new table, the course table. There it is. That currently doesn't have any doesn't have any courses. And we have the ID, we have the title, and the author ID that knows that it's pointing to the faculty. In this case, the user, right? And we can take a look at the what the query looks like, what the create statement looks like, and there it is, right? The primary key. Okay, excellent. All right, excellent. So let's keep going. So we have the course. We created a table, the faculty. All right. So how do we create this relationship? How do we insert one or the other? Well, we have to make sure that at least in memory, when we load them from data, we have to make sure that if I authored you, then it should be also the case that you should point to me, right? Or vice versa, right? If I fetch, I should be able to fetch them either way, right? In SQL, it's obvious, right? When you join two tables, you can either start from the user and navigate to the course, or you can start at the course and navigate to the user because we have the foreign key and primary key match. Yes. In Java, it's not as trivial, right? Because in Java, typically you can start one way. Right, you can look at the relationship one way. The way we implement that is that we create two one-way direct references, right? Where the course references the author, but not necessarily the author references back to me. It's not forced to, right? If the course references the faculty is not forced to reference back to me, right? So that's the first disconnect. Right, then in SQL they do reference each other. You can navigate from one to the other. And same thing, right? If I have a faculty, I can have a list of courses, but the courses are not forced to point back to me. Yes? So there's a disconnect of what I can do to navigate in relational databases, but I can't navigate in object-oriented. So to get around this, your API should enforce this capability. That I should be able to navigate both ways, both in SQL, which I know I can, but also in Java. So for instance, when we create a brand new course, for instance, if we are on the side of the faculty and we are adding a new course, right? Well, we should make sure that I should tell that course that I am your author, right? Or vice versa, right? If I tell a course that this is your author, right? Then I should go to the author and say, hey, author, that is your course that you've authored, right? So I should create the relationships both ways. So here's an example from the faculty's point of view. From the faculty's point of view, the way we manipulate this array, this collection, is as follows, right? We add a function that says I'm going to add an authored course, right? Here it is, a brand new course. And what do? We take that list and we append to it, which makes sense. Well, that's obvious. But we can't forget to go the other way around as well. Right? We have to say, hey, author, If it's not already me, if I'm not already your author, then make me your author. Okay? So get the author. Is it me? All right, then forget it. All right, you already know that it's me. Right? Otherwise, make it so. Right? Make me your author. Make sense? Right? So that's if I started from the faculty's point of view. But I could have started from the course's point of view. Right? So if I would have started from the course's point of view, I should have said in the set author, right? In the set author for course. So if you go to course and you have author here, where is it? There it is. Set author. Yes, that's true. Right? I am your author. But in addition, go the other way around as well. Check to see. Go to that author, fetch all the courses that author has authored, and check to see if this course is not already in that list. If it's already there, then leave it. Right? The author already knows that it has authored me. Otherwise, right, if I'm not already in that list of courses, then add me to that list of courses. Okay. So this is what this does. So checks to see. You'll fetch all the courses that were authored by this author that you're telling me. Right? Check to see if this course is not already in there. Does it already contain it? Then leave it. But if it doesn't contain it, then grab that list of of courses, right, and add this course. Right? Okay, so now I am guaranteeing that both the course knows about the faculty and that the faculty knows about the course, right? And that it's not only one way. And the reason is that later on, when you create a faculty, you should be able to have a faculty add all the courses, right? And say, hey, faculty, save yourself, right? And that's going to have an insert for the faculty. And then it's going to do an insert for all the courses that were in this array, in this list. Okay? But the only way that it knows about the relationship is that each course has been told who the faculty is, who the author is. Right? So that when it inserts all the courses, it has the primary key ready to be pointing to the author that has been set as its author. Okay? All right, excellent. So now we have both the courses and the faculty pointing to each other. Well, let's try it out. We should be able to do it both ways. We should be able to create a faculty and add a course, or create a course and add its faculty. Right? In both cases, it should work either way, right? Because it should be bidirectional. So let's create a course repository. So let's see. In the repository, let's create here a new class. So this will be a course repository. And so let's there we go. CRUD repository. We'll need to import that. There we go. So we have our repository. Yeah. So this is how we are going to talk to the course repository and actually insert things. Let's create a REST service to retrieve all the courses. Let's see. We will on the services we'll create new class, and this will be course service. And let's paste that in there. We'll need to fix project setup, change REST. I'm going to create annotation, fix. No. Isn't there one that just fixes everything? I remember there being an option where you just go ahead and fix all the imports. But I don't see. What is it? Command-Shift-O. There we go. Thank you But wasn't there also an option? Oh, I must be confused with maybe IntelliJ. There we go. So we have here the course right here. If we point to it, it's just going to return an empty list of courses. Okay. Actually, no. This was for creating a new course. So let's do we have already an insert that I could use? Let's post a couple of courses in here. And so let's go in here and let's create a new, and it'll be a post, and it will be to http://localhost 8080/API course, and the headers will be content type, and this will be application JSON, JSON. There we go. And the body raw will be the title. It'll be CS 5200. All right. I'm not sure if I had already restarted the server. Maybe. Apparently not. So let's restart the server. While that's going on, let's take a look at. All right, yeah. We want to be able to associate a faculty and a faculty's ID and an author course. Okay, so that's the course. Okay, should be running. So let's create a course. Taught by let's see, by Chuck Norris. What course would Chuck Norris teach? Kung Fu. Kung Fu. There we go. So let's send, and it was created. Excellent, but there's no author. If we look at the particular course and we search, we have Kung Fu in there. Excellent. So let's create now the capability of setting a relationship between an existing author, right, and an existing course. Right? So to do that, we can go to the faculty service and create the following put. The following put, what's going to do is that it's going to try and find both of them, the course and the faculty, and it's going to create a relationship between the two. Right? So it's going to go in the faculty service, and notice notice what this is doing, right? It's receiving the relationship between two entities, right? It's saying, hey, faculty, and I'll give you the faculty ID, presumably Chuck Norris, authored, and then the ID of what it authored. Right? Which could then be used to be read from the path variables, and then establish the relationship between the two. So in this case, it'll need both a faculty repository. Let's see, do we have a faculty repository? We do have a faculty repository, so let's rename it faculty. And I'll need both repositories. Not only the faculty repository, I will also need the course repository. Because I should be able to do it from both places, right? I should be able to do it from the course and from the faculty. These are both auto-wired. Oh, this is faculty here. And this is using the older, this is find by ID. And this is also find, no, not find all, sorry, find by ID. And this is faculty ID. There we go. And this will be find also by ID with the course. But obviously I need to use the optional and optional. So this is optional faculty, I guess. Optional faculty and optional course. So if they're both there, if O faculty is present and O course is also present, then let's set the relationship. Let's get the course from the O course dot get, and also let's get the faculty O faculty dot get. And now that we have both, we can go either way. We could go. We can say, hey course, set your author and then save the course. Right? Or we can do faculty set the course as an authored course, and then save the faculty. We don't have to do both, right? Right? It's kind of redundant to do both, but you can do both, right? It'll know that it already inserted it, right? Because from the point of view of the database, it's bidirectional, right? You only really need the foreign key, right, from the weak side back to the parent. All right. So all right. So let's do that. Let's restart. And let's try doing a put. Let's see. We'll create a brand new one, and this will be a put. To HTTP localhost 8080, and we'll say API, faculty, and the ID of Chuck Norris was what? Let's see, where were we? User, Chuck Norris was number 3, so faculty 3. And then what was the and then authored, and then the new course we just created, course Kung Fu is ID number 1. ID number 1. Okay. Let's see. What else do we need? I think that's it, right? Only the path variables. And let's send it. All right, let's see what happened here. If we look at the course, notice that the author ID was changed to 3. That's the only change that we really need, right, from the point of view of the database, right? Chuck Norris doesn't know anything that they. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. It has no references. It has no list. Right? That's only at the high level data model, right? Not down here at the relational database, right? The only really thing is that one field changes to a 3. The users really nothing changes, right? Chuck Norris is still just a faculty, right? It's nowhere here do we have anything about courses. That makes sense? So you could either do one or the other. They're optional. You can do one or the other or one. They both would update the same thing. All right, let's keep going. We can also retrieve what's been authored, either from the faculty's point of view. Hey, faculty, what are all your authored courses, right? Or vice versa. Given the course, give me who the faculty is that authored it, right? So, for instance, in the faculty service, we can ask here. Let's see, mapped starting for faculty from the faculty ID and get the authored courses. And this will be faculty find by ID. Find by ID. That returns the optional. And here we can say we can return faculty dot get author courses. And return the list of courses. And I think we're missing a curly bracket. There we go. So we can go that way, or we can go the other way as well. From the course service, we can navigate the other way. We can say, if I give you the course ID, I can ask you for the author, right? So for instance, in the course repository, in the course service, we can navigate the other way around. The faculty, get the path variable for the course ID, retrieve that particular course. This is find by ID. And this is, we'll map it to the optional. So get, and then get author, and then retrieve the faculty. So let's restart the server. And let's try these two services we just updated. So let's try this one. Right, so we can, so this will be faculty, and Chuck Norris is number 3. Oops. Oh, probably, okay, we're getting into an infinite loop, right, on the server. The server, and notice that it's complaining that it got into an infinite loop. And that's because we forgot to perhaps ignore a couple of things, right? It went into the course, into the faculty, and then back to the course, and then the faculty, and back to the course, and back to the faculty. So somewhere we need to stop the iteration, right? So we could, let's see, we can go to course. We can stop it right here. We could say stop JSON ignore and restart. Let's refresh. All right, there we go. So we have starting from the faculty. Give me all the books that or courses that were authored, or the other way around was what was it? I forget. A course. This course number 1, and this was author. Right, it goes to Chuck Norris. Right, so you can navigate one way or another. Notice that this would start the infinite loop again. Right, here's the author. Here are the authored courses, and this would start the back to the author again. This is where the infinite loop would start, right? Because we have we would have the author there. Right. Right. That makes sense. Right. So we can navigate both ways. Right. Now let's take a look at something a little more sophisticated, many-to-many. Right. And many-to-many, you would have a mapping table in between. Right. That would make it that more complex. So let's take a look at that next.